Hey everybody, it's your self-proclaimed metal mogul, and this time around I'm going to tell you about a little VC meetup I had with the one and only Nathan Metal Down Under. That's the name of his channel. As the name implies, he's from Down Under and I'm from up over, so it's not often that you really get the chance to meet up with a VC person from the other side of the planet. But Nathan has been on a bit of a whirlwind tour of Europe, if not the world. He's been on a trip of a lifetime. I think he always wanted to go to a big metal festival, and Wacken was the one that he chose. So he spent some time touring around Europe, Germany, obviously for the festival. I think he's been to Sweden, other places. I'm sure he will tell you about his trip. So this is not about to tell you about his trip, but on one of his stops, he did come up to Edinburgh in Scotland for a day's sightseeing, and he took a little bit of time out of his busy schedule to meet up with me. So we grabbed a bit of lunch and we had a bit of a chat, and he's as nice a guy as you can imagine. If you've watched his videos, you'll know what Nathan's all about, and as lively and as happy as he is in his videos, and as personable as he is, I guarantee you he's exactly the same in real life. You know what? He's such a nice guy that he's on the trip of a lifetime. He has spent probably years planning this. They've gone everywhere. They've everywhere they've spent them all the sort of like 2 or 3 days in each city or each country, if that. They've carried their bags. They've planned it meticulously, but still, he spent the time to go out of his way and put together a little package for myself. So, with everything that's going on and the fact that he's got to carry his luggage everywhere. To think of me and think of the very short time that we would have had together, which was literally only a couple of hours, and to put together a thoughtful package to give. I was absolutely blown away. Also met his lovely wife Amy. But so we had some dinner together. Then he presented me with this gift. And as I do actually know what's in it. So, but as I was kind of looking through it to start with, I was thinking, oh, should I have waited until this is a video? This is kind of like a VC meetup, and maybe show you all. But it was also pretty cool because as I was pulling the stuff out, he was giving me little reasons for the purchases. So it was nice to kind of get that personal touch. But I brought the bag home. There were a couple of CDs in there. I took the CDs out and had a listen to them because I thought if I'm going to do a video on this, I want to actually be able to tell you what I think of the CDs that the albums that he has passed on. But there were a few other things, and my memory's a little bit hazy now because I've kept the bag to one side and thought I would show you guys on camera. And let's have a look at it. So to start with, it's this tote bag from Slow Boat Records from Wellington in New Zealand, which is pretty cool. Established 1985, about the time that my love of music was first established as well. So that's very timely. And I'll pull things out one at a time. I'll leave the CDs till the end because I know they're there. Now, the first one is in a bag. Open the bag. Maybe I should be more prepared after all. Was this nice sort of custom-made Iron Maiden logo, which I'm going to probably stick it up above my monitor there. He also did bring a larger. Was a larger one in the Iron Maiden font that's got my full name and everything on it, but I don't need to show that. Not on here. But yeah, so it's kind of like this, but bigger. It's got my name on it, but I do love this little Iron Maiden thing. That's going to. Unfortunately, I have not many places behind me to sort of show off like the metal man cave like a lot of you do, but that will be in my line of sight. What else do we have? Oh, there were some coasters as well. Let me see if I can grab them both together. The first one was just covered in different metal bands. Many of which are my favourites. I mean, he's got... this must be custom made, because to have things like Seven Sisters, Toledo Steel, Eternal Champion, Striker, Hellfire... what else do I know on there? Eliminator, all on... I can't imagine that would have been found in any local shop in New Zealand. There's a lot of UK bands on there, a lot of US bands as well, but that's pretty cool. And also... there was this one as well, which I imagine this one probably is readily available in all good New Zealand stores. Who wouldn't want an old school now? Because I've kind of had a little bit of a reband, and the Cloudy Minder is not really anymore. But this is a nice reminder that every time I've got a drink with a wet bottom, I can slam it down on my face and not leave a ring on the table. And who doesn't need that in their life? So, as I say, he put a lot of thought to this. This wasn't just like chucking some random shit in a bag. This was like, I'm meeting Andy and I'm going to get him some cool stuff. Right. Oh, yes, I remember this one. So, there were a couple of T-shirts in there as well. And they're sealed in bags. And I didn't open them at the time. But this is a Somewhere in Time T-shirt, which I will now take the first look at. So there's a little bit here of like the old VCLT magic of showing stuff for the first time. But somewhere on, is that Somewhere on Tour? It's not Somewhere in Time, because it's got the Power Slave at the bottom, so it's like Somewhere on Tour, Somewhere in Time, Somewhere on Tour, something like that. But that is awesome. I don't have a Somewhere in Time era Eddie t-shirt at all, and the fact that it's mixed in with the Power Slave thing as well is pretty damn cool. So that you will see me wearing in upcoming videos. There was another t-shirt as well, which I think was more of a New Zealand. Sorry, you're gonna have to get all the crunching of plastic bags. Yeah, this was also pretty cool. Obviously, Nathan being from New Zealand. Very cool to have that as well. New Zealand and Wales, where I'm originally from, we were pretty close bond in terms of the rugby. Good rivalry, good healthy rivalry with the rugby. So I'll wear that with pride. Right, so there's a little poster there, but it's a link to one of the albums he gave me. So I'll just show that in a second. What else was in here? Oh yeah! Oh, do you see? This is it's like going back. I'm glad I didn't pull it out at the time, because it is kind of nice to remind myself. So there's this metal sign. I have a few of these metal signs. I've got a Monsters of Rock one and a Judas Priest British Steel one here, and I've got another Ramones one up there as well. But Nathan knows I'm a massive Ramones fan, and this is a like an old-fashioned tall poster from the classic first lineup of the band. That's very cool. That also will go up on my wall over here, which you will no longer see forevermore. But if you ever want to have a look at it, just pop this video back on again. I'll let you. You can watch it again. So now I think all that's left is the 2 CDs. Say all that's left. I mean, come on. The guy's come all the way from New Zealand. He's put this together for me. It's absolutely brilliant. So he gave me 2 CDs from bands from New Zealand, one of which I'd seen before, which is this one. I remember when this one came out, quite a few people showed it. So the band's called The Void. No, 3000 AD. And the album is called The Void. That cover is awesome. I love very sort of futuristic sci-fi type covers. I bet that is a killer on vinyl. It's an 8-track album. It also had this tiny plectrum for... I don't know whether the band have tiny hands, or whether that's just a bit of a... giveaway. Actually, I don't know now if the band's called 3000 AD, isn't it? And the album's called The Void. Did I say that? I'm getting all confused myself. But yes, it came with this little plectrum. They're a 3-piece out of New Zealand, as I said, and This is it's crossover thrash. Now I don't know too much about crossover thrash. I'm not the biggest crossover thrash fan, but I have listened to this a couple of times now, and one, I could quite happily listen to it for a second time, so it's not all bad. And two, I think because I don't have a lot of crossover thrash, it was kind of interesting for me to really kind of give it a good listen and get into it. The thing that I struggle a little bit with is the vocals, and it's not because being crossover they're quite punky and delivered punkily, but it's the gang vocals that's on it as well, and specifically the gang vocals tend to come in at the end of a line, so the last word of a line everybody's sort of like shouting it, and it does get a little bit annoying, but I'm going to listen to this a few more times. The music is really, really good, and in fact the last track, Born Under a Black Sun, it wasn't until I'd listened to it for at least the second time that I realised it was an instrumental. It was that good an instrumental. I wasn't missing the lyrics, and I think that's the beauty of a perfectly done instrumental, is when you don't actually miss the lyrics, or it's not one person of the band just doing their thing and that's why they've done an instrumental, but the whole thing, it almost sounds like it's building itself up to the lyrics, but they never come. But I'm not disappointed when they don't. And that's kind of nice. I like that. But yeah, 3000 AD, New Zealand crossover thrash, and this is the poster that was with it as well, which is actually, that gives a much better view of the artwork. I should show that first now. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And the last one was also a New Zealand band, and this was a band I'd never heard of before, Red Dawn Ironhead. And my first reaction when I saw this, as I said to Nathan, is this looks like kind of psychedelic stoner or something. He went, nope, couldn't be further from the point. It is much closer to straight up heavy metal. I think there are some thrashy elements in here, but it has much more of a power metal feel to it, but the good power metal, the Lost Horizon. I felt that the production, the sound of the instruments, and the vocalist on here as well is, again, I thought, ooh, is the vocalist going to make it or break? But I think he made it. He's got a very powerful melodic voice, but he also, it's one of those vocalists that kind of enunciates every single word. He sings every single word, and you can hear every single word. It's as opposed to just rushing through a line, or the vocals being slightly unintelligible. But you really hear every single sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Syllable. Perfectly pronounced, and he's got quite an epic metal style voice, so it's kind of epic metal vocals, traditional metal music, but also an undercurrent of good old power metal in there as well. I really enjoy it. It's only a 6-track album, but Death March of Batan is a fantastic song. I looked these guys up. I mean, this came out in 2013, and they've not done anything since. They went a bit quiet. I think they had a couple of lineup changes, and then in 2019 they pop on their Facebook and say, we're back, but nothing seems to have come out from them. So it would be nice to see if these guys are still going, because this is a great first release. And thank you again, Nathan. Absolute star. You've had the trip of a lifetime, and as I'm filming this, I know you're still on it. When I post this, you may well be back. But thank you again. It was great meeting you and your wife. It sounds like you've had an absolutely fantastic trip, and thank you for taking the time out to come and have a chat with me. It was brilliant. Check out Nathan's channel below. It's been a bit quiet of late, obviously, because he's been out of the country, but do check out his videos. He's a fantastic guy, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.